Hey guys, this is Casual with another NerdHammer.net battle report. It's about 5:30 in the morning. I've been wanting to get these battle reports up all week and get them recorded. So my voice might be a little rough this early. But me and the NerdHammer crew, we went down to Showcase Comics in Media, Pennsylvania for a 3-round tournament. This is actually a GT qualifier. First place gets a ticket to the Colonial GT, which is at the end of the month of May here. 4 of us from the crew went down to get some games, and we got our pairings. In round 1, I get up against Rob, who is a good friend of mine, and we've played multiple times. You've probably seen the Skaven on this channel. The TO came over to us and said, hey, if you don't want to play each other, that's fine. And I was okay with that, but I turned to Rob and he said, I want Epidemius. So here we go. NerdHammer.net Civil War. Let's get into it. So I do apologize. All my pictures from this tournament are going to be pretty horrible quality. My camera was on a weird setting. I couldn't get it out of it. So here's what I rolled up for my Great Unclean one, and I'll go through my list in a minute here. I got the Eternal Blade, and I actually got a bonus lesser gift, so 2 up ward save against my first wound, and I got a strength 2 breath weapon with no armor saves, which is really cool to help Epidemius' tally, which is awesome. Spells I rolled up: Rancid Visitation, absolutely excellent spell. Curse of the Leper, reduces toughness. Rancid Visitation, what that does is, if it goes off, it's a d6 strength 5 hits, and you have to take a toughness test, and if you fail it, you get another d6 strength 5 toughness hits, and if you fail it, you get another, well, you see where this is going. Blade of Purification just adds poison, or if I already have poison, gives me it on a 5 up. And I got the Plague Wind Vortex, which is a toughness test, and that's another really good spell. So as this game was starting, I dropped my display board and broke a ton of models. Glued them all back up, and it wasn't too bad, but yeah, there's pieces everywhere. So here's my deployment on my right side. I got my Skull Cannon back in here, 4 drones, my Great Unclean one, a unit of Plague Bearers with Epidemius in it, my Furies in behind, another unit of Plague Bearers with my BSB giving them a 4-up regen, single beast, big block of beasts, another Skull Cannon. So I'm kind of bunkered up here in the corner a little bit, but yeah, I'm pretty happy with my deployment. These tokens here, there's 9 of them. You can only use 3 a game. There was a charity event for breast cancer awareness, and if you paid $1, you can get a token, and that token is good for 1 reroll, and you're allowed to use 3 a game. So not only is it awesome, it's for charity. So we were falling all over ourselves to give this money up because yeah, getting a reroll whenever you want it's pretty badass. So on Rob's side, in the woods here is his Abomination, got a Rat Dart, big block of slaves, Fellblade guy, bunker him back with his level 4. This is actually after my first turn. He had 2 cannons, I actually shot one off. Another unit of slaves, Rat Dart. I think his Doom Wheel's on his right side. Here's my movement. I'm just pushing up as fast as I can. I take Epidemius out of his bunker and park him behind the building, hopefully nice and safe. And so that's about all that happened. I did toss the toughness spell, got off, but I didn't get any direct damage spells off. So moving on to turn 1, and Rob goes, Huey comes out of the forest, just bringing his lines up just a little bit. All his slingers come in. I really don't know what to do with these guys, these Dark Knight runners or Gutter runners, whatever they are. Poison is really bad for the Great Unclean ones, so he's just bringing them on. He's going to be taking shots at my stuff, and I'm just going to ignore him for the most part. There's not much I can do. If I don't need my Furies to redirect, maybe I'll bring the Furies over to mess around with them, but there's not much I can do with them. I really just want to get in combat. So that's how it's shaping up. The Doom Wheel comes up. It doesn't get far enough to get into my Plague Drones. This is awesome. I should be able to get a counter charge with the drones and get the Doom Wheel out of there pretty easily. My plan in the center here, I'm really just going to push up, try to get him with the Storm Vermin. This is his main combat block. I got to crack that nut to get to his level 4. But yeah, I'm really not too concerned with the Skaven in combat. I'm more concerned with all the toys. You know, you got Brass Orb's going to rip through one of my units. My plan is just to try and stop Skitter Leap, which opens up Rob to be able to cast the no fly spell and whatnot. So I'm just trying to minimize the the damage from Skaven. But something has to go through. So I think this was a dreaded 13th. Just rips through this Plague Bearer unit, takes off. Let's see, 5, 10, 15 Plague Bearers. The good news is I can regrow them. So you know, I don't need a lot of muscle to kill those Storm Vermin, but I do need some. So his Gutter Runners take off a Fury, no big deal. And when his Doom Wheel went to shoot, it misfired and goes off in a random direction. So the good thing is he didn't go far enough to get out of my charge with the Plague Drones, even though the no-fly spell is up. They still can get in there against the Doom Wheel, so that should work out pretty well. So turn 2 demons, the Epidemius counter is at nothing because I didn't kill anything yet. So I go for some long charges here. The beast into the slaves. The idea, the beast I'm kind of throwing away here because the Fellblade guy is going to go until next turn. But the idea is I'm just going to get the counter up the best I can, and I'm kind of getting into his lines and delaying things. If you can see, both of his cannons are gone. I did shoot one off with my skull cannon, and Rob was happy to misfire one and blow up the other one. So that's pretty awesome. The Plague Drones do make it into the Doom Wheel, which will work out pretty well for me. And these slaves here, I tossed Plague Vortex down his lines, or Plague Vortex right at the slaves, killed off a bunch here, and then went off the table. Rob knows to stop the toughness spell. I threw that onto his Storm Vermin, and he used a lot of dice to get rid of that. I did throw Rancid Visitation at him. I did kill a couple of Storm Vermin, so that's pretty awesome. But it wasn't as big as it would have been had he been as toughness 1. Just taking that toughness test over and over. It's pretty nasty. Yep, the Plague Drones kill the Doom Wheel and reface his lines. I'm probably going to take a charge from the slaves and be stuck in there for a little while, but the drones are all up in his face, and he really doesn't have many toys left. Huey's a little bit out of position on the left side. He's going to be desperately trying to get him into combat over here somewhere. So yeah, that's just a look at all the nastiness that happened on that turn. You see I bring a single beast up to traff up Huey for a turn or two. And after combat, my beast only take 1 wound. I do get some slaves going, but of course, he's going to have an easy counter charge right there. But as you can see, with all the excitement, I did get Epi's counter all the way up to 28 in the first round between spells and close combat. That's excellent. That's probably one of the fastest I've gotten his tally up. But, it's just kind of using the Skaven against him. The slaves are fodder, so as many as I can kill, and that's great. So, if you're not familiar with the Epidemius tally, for the first one, I get +1 strength. For the second one, +1 toughness. For the third one, killing blow. For the fourth one, I get to reroll ward saves. Yeah, it's pretty nasty. So, in my turn, I was able to regrow about 9 Plague Drones through the Lord Nurgle spell, so that's pretty awesome. You can see I did some reforming here. This is actually his turn, but just pictures are a little bad up. Little pictures showing some other things going on the other turns. As expected, he does bring his Storm Vermin into the Beast. That's going to be really tough. His Fellblade guy is just going to rip through them pretty quickly, I think. And brings Huey into the other Beast in Nurgle and just moves his lines up. Takes his slaves into my Plague Drones. I'm going to continuously win that battle. There's no doubt about it. But that's going to put the plague drones in combat for a couple turns, and it's not really where I want him. I mean, he can shoot at him, being in combat with slaves, and throw magic at him, whatever he wants to do. But yeah, they're going to be stuck there for a little bit. So after combat here, yeah, take about 3 and about 7 wounds on Beast. They do stick around, which is pretty awesome. Just via combat res, being able to kill as many slaves as possible. I think I may even have won this combat. I'm not 100% sure, but this is not good though, because it's going to be my turn, and if they pop on my turn, he's going to be just all freed up on his whole entire battle line. Huey did make short work of the single beast. That's to be expected. I'm just trying to chaff up Huey the best I can and keep him out of combat for a little bit. He brings up this rat dart to chaff up my plague bearers, and I think that's about it. Yep, turn 3 demons. Bringing Epidemius around here. I do have a pathway between this building and my plague drone, so I have him kind of on the flank here, protected. But I can use him for some counter charges and whatnot. My skull cannon moves over. I'm taking long bomb shots at Huey all the way across this line here. You can see this other Huey's former bunker is getting whittled down through Rob's magic. I do take my plague drones into his rat dart, and I move the great unclean one up. At this point, there's nothing I'm afraid of in his army with the great unclean one, so I just want to shove it down his throat the best I can. I still have 1 Fury left. The Fury's been taking shots from his poison slings, so I'm going to use him to hopefully chaff up Huey one more time. So that's what it's looking like after combat. Yeah, he got through my beast, and now his lines are completely open. He's going to be able to charge me on my turn. He's kind of being able to dictate the combats here as he sees fit. You can see his engineer, he got Skitter Leap off and Brass Orb these guys at one point, so I had to charge him and get him out of the way. My blocks are looking kind of small at this point, but I do have the Great Unclean one left, and we're going to see how things work out. I really need to grow my Plague Bearers up a little bit, because even though the rats aren't that great in combat, he does have a Fellblade guy left. Actually, at the end of this turn, the Fellblade character actually takes a wound from Fellblade, so doing some work for me. The unpredictableness of Skaven, in action once again. After combat here, yeah, just grind away on slaves. I had a pretty good round of combat. I think I killed pretty many, but the tally doesn't matter anymore, so it's just a matter of getting them slaves killed and freeing out my plague drones. Turn 3 Skaven, and there's the circle for the 1 wound on the Fellblade guy. So he goes into my plague bearers. I got about 14 left there. He takes the slaves into Great Unclean One, which I think is a pretty good move. It's going to take the Great Unclean One, even with his Eternal Blade, a couple rounds of combat to get through that. If you're not familiar with the Eternal Blade, it's a demon gift. At the beginning of combat, it gives me D3 to my weapon skill, initiative, strength, and attacks. Even with that, it's going to take a while to get through slaves. There's just a lot of numbers there. But the good thing is, my Plague Vortex, I can cast it down the lines wherever it wants to go. Thank God the Abomination didn't roll high enough to get in my Plague Drones. It was really close, or Plague Bearers. It was really close to see if he could get around there, but I think he might have been able to. But that's where he ends up. Just moving up his other slave block and his bunker closer, just keeping him tight. Another shot. I'm not sure what that's showing. I think that might be after combat. Yeah, I'm not sure. Plague drones do get through the slaves on his turn, which is pretty awesome. Like I said, Epidemius has a line into these slaves, so this is great on my turn. Hopefully I'll be able to flank these slaves and get rid of them as fast as possible, with a lot of attacks from the drones, and even bring Epidemius in for some combat action. So after combat here, yeah, his Fellblade guy died. I put I was able to get 3 attacks on him. He moved them to base to the corner here. Got 3 poison attacks on him, got 2 wounds through, and he's dead. So a lot of his combat effectiveness is now gone. And as you can see, toughness 5, toughness 5 Plague Bearers -1 to hit with a 4-up regen. Works out pretty well. I think he does have his Flame Banner on this guy, but even still, I'm rerolling ward saves at this point, so yeah, it's pretty awesome. You see, he brought his gutter runners over to take shots at the Great Unclean One, and he actually gets one through because Skaven can shoot at things in combat, which is the most broken shit ever. As I'm complaining with an Epidemius list. So turn 4, demons. This is actually after combat. I brought my drones into the flank of the slaves. Epidemius is in combat there. Just with the scenery, he couldn't really fit in there in a way that he wasn't going to fall over, so he just backed up a little bit. But after combat, yeah, I couldn't get through all the slaves. I mean, I used my breath weapon that I had on the Great Unclean One. You see I take another wound on the Great Unclean One. A lot of the drones couldn't attack just because they weren't long enough. But look at my Plague Bearers. They broke the Storm Vermin, couldn't catch him, but they do overrun into his bunker with his level 4. Sadly, that won't get fought on my turn because I couldn't overrun with the drones. So yeah, I'm going to have to do everything to stop Skitter Leap to keep his level 4 in that unit. But yeah, you see I had some good spells up. I had +3 toughness on my Plague Bearers, so they were up to toughness 5. Or toughness 8, sorry. They're toughness 5 from the tally, +3 from the spell, so toughness 8 Plague Bearers. No wonder he didn't kill many. And I think I gave him an extra poison also. And I brought the remaining Fury to chaff up his Abomination. So yeah, not bad. Got some work to do yet, but things are looking pretty good at this point. And not looking good for Rob. So turn 4. Yeah, the stupid Storm Vermin rallied and reformed to face my Plague Drones. I'm not sure if they would have got off the table. I think he had about, I would say about 8 inches, 9 inches to get off. He does take the Abomination into the Lone Fury. The Fury's not going to last long. And he's going to be taking shots at the Great Unclean One, of course. Yeah, so that's the way that's shaping up. And of course he Skitter Leaps his level 4. I couldn't stop it. I think he got it irresistible, or I didn't have enough dice to stop it, whatever. So he Skitter Leaps him into this other bunker. And there's slaves. God damn, so close. Sneaky Skaven, always getting away. So yeah, this is just shooting. My Great Unclean One and the drones, they did finally get that slave unit. I do take another wound. Big Papa's at 3 wounds with poison shots just coming at him. I think he gets, 2 per? So that's like 14 shots, 28 shots per turn. He does get some poison through, even though I'm re-rolling a 5 ward save. It's really tough. The Abomination does kill that Fury, refaces the rest of the lines. And combat here, I guess I don't do too much. I really don't have that many attacks left, so yeah, he just sticks around with his bunker. Turn 5 demons, taking everybody I can in. I wasn't sure what I want to do with my Great Unclean One here. There's 2 wounds left on the Abomination at this point. I wanted to get the Great Unclean One into combat safely. I don't think his bunker... I just didn't know where to put him. I didn't think his bunker would be able to hold up to the Great Unclean One, and I'd be breaking him anyway. I need to get points from the Abomination. I was hoping that maybe, I fluffed my attacks and the Great Unclean One could stick around in combat and not get shot by the freaking slingers. Yeah, I really didn't know where to go here. So what I do decide to do is take the drones into the Storm Vermin. I take Epidemius into the flank of the Clan Rats, and the Great Unclean One into the Abomination. Just going for points here, spreading out my combat, just hoping that the Great Unclean One can stay alive here for another turn or 2. So yeah, demons win in combat all around. The Great Unclean One breaks and runs down Huey. I think he actually killed him outright, overran, yeah. The Plague Drones beat up the Storm Vermin, ran him down, overran into the flank of the Clan Rats. That combat didn't go well for Rob. They did break, but nothing could catch him. So the clown rats are here at the end of, real close to the edge of the board. They just rolled insanely high and got away. So in all that mess, this bunker with his level 4 decided that they weren't sticking around, so they broke to a panic test. So yeah, Skaven are running everywhere. Turn 5 Skaven, of course he rallies his bunker with his level 4. I think this is actually his turn. There wasn't much to do since he was rallying. Didn't have a big magic phase. So this is actually after my movement, just moving the drones over, getting close to the bunker. Hopefully I can charge him. Epidemius is just chilling there in the woods, trying to get as far away from the slingers as possible. The Great Unclean One just refaced him, and he now has 4 wounds on him, just taking poison shots, which is awful. I ended up regrowing 2 plague drones here, just trying to get them above half points, because in this tournament you get half points, and you get full points if a unit is fleeing at the end of the game. The other tournament objectives, they were like kill the general, that type of thing. You get bonus points for that type of stuff, but it was just basically a battle line scenario. So turn 6, I have some choices to make. I actually want to go back a picture here to show you what's going on. Oh, so too far. Okay. So I have some options here. You see he has these 2 units. I know these guys are going to shoot at my Great Unclean One. I need to panic them. They're far away from his general that they're not going to get his leadership. I think they're leadership 6, so I got some options. I got some spells, I got a Terror Causer, and I have a cannon left yet. I need to get these guys panicked so that they're not taking poison shots at the Great Unclean One in turn 6. So, I roll my magic phase, get an awful magic phase. It's a 3. I have to take demonic instability on all my units. So what I decide to do is, I'm going to throw Ransom Visitation at one of the units, right? And I'm going to shoot at the other one in my turn. So, I toss 2 dice at Ransom Visitation. I get it on a 10. Rob has 1 dispel dice. He needs a 6. And he dispels it. Damn. Maybe I should have charged with the Great Unclean One and, caused a terror test, which could have been panicked. Probably would have been a better idea. But I'm like, I still have my skull cannon. I'll shoot him up and maybe I can cause a panic. Shoot him up with a grape shot. But instead the cannon decides to blow itself up. So that's not good. Not much else happens here. There's no reason I can't get into his bunker or anything. Can't get his level 4, so yeah, that's unfortunate. And on Rob's turn, through poison shots, he kills my Great Unclean One at the bottom of the 6th turn. 580 point swing, even more because you get 100 points for the general. That was huge. Huge, huge, huge. Sneaky, stupid Skaven and their poison slings. I guess my plan of ignoring these guys all game really wasn't the best idea. But at the end of it, I do get a 9-7 win against Rob and his Skaven. Bonus points ended up being 11-10. So, after round 1, we're kind of middle of the pack. There's 4 guys that are from Nerdhammer that all went to this tournament. There's only 16 guys in the tournament, so we're bound to face each other, which we didn't mind. Rob has never played my Epidemius list. The other 2 guys have. It was a really good game. Just at the end there, I couldn't believe the point swing between the cannon and the Great Unclean One dying. Really helped Rob in the game. This I'm really happy with this result actually, because I'm not going to be playing the top guy. The top guy has the most dick-kicking demon list you can find in an uncomped event. Fate Weaver with Epidemius, lots of Beast, Soul Grinder. I mean, it's a nasty, nasty list. I think the only list that could possibly go up against him in this tournament is mine, and I don't even know if it's that good of a matchup. So that's going to help me. I'm going to avoid, playing him round 2 or round 3 maybe. Maybe round 3 I'll be matched up against him, but at this point, we actually did pretty good for each other, giving us half points basically. We didn't try it. I was doing everything I possibly could to table Rob. But yeah, so that's how it works out. It was a win for the Demons, so this list is now like 6-0, which is pretty awesome. But thanks for tuning in, guys, and look for more battle reports coming up for the rest of this tournament.